Yeah, selected for jury duty again. Will it ever end? If you're watching this video, I'm guessing you too want to know how to quit being called in for jury duty. I mean, it seems like you no sooner get dismissed from having to serve on one jury, and then you get another notice in the mail. So, this video will show you the only way that you can get permanently removed from jury duty. Here we go. Yes, these headlines are actually real. Amazing. I'm still the only person ever to be arrested and jailed with a $200,000 bail for demanding an apology on the internet. Yep. Pretty freaking insane. Gotta love justice, huh? So I got this in the mail. Yeah. Our records indicate that you have failed to appear for jury service. Yeah, well, and I could be fined $1,500, yada, yada, yada. Okay, I'm going to say this right here. Right now, I will never serve on a jury. I am not a candidate to serve on a jury for many reasons. Primarily because when I got arrested back in 2001, even though I shouldn't have been arrested for embarrassing somebody and having it deemed a felony embarrassment. Yeah, I didn't even know. Apparently, no, it wasn't a law. I shouldn't have been arrested. I spent 7 months in jail. And then I spent 5 years going to court, suing for legal malpractice, suing for wrongful arrest, suing for everything, basically, and to get all my charges expunged because I did plead guilty in order to get out of jail after sitting there 7 months. So the bottom line is, no, I don't want to ever see a courtroom ever again. The whole reason I don't break the law is so I don't have to look at a courtroom. Now, in between that 5-year period where I was fighting the whole situation and still having to look at courtrooms, I got complete bilateral hip replacement surgery. And yeah, well, anyway, as soon as everything got expunged and there was no more felonies, I got a notice to appear for jury duty. So I went, even though I did not want to go. And I told the judge then and there to excuse me from jury duty ever because of the fact that I know of the legal malpractice that does take place in that courtroom. Not to mention, I don't break the law, so I don't have to look at a courtroom. And as far as I'm concerned, as a private citizen, I don't feel I should be forced to get up at 5 in the morning, take a shower, drive for an hour, risking my life on the freeway to get to that courtroom, just to go look at some stupid meth addict, some heroin addict, some common criminal, like, a thief, somebody who is clearly a criminal, belongs in there, and is actually given the option to plead not guilty. No, I don't feel I should have to do that. And why should I risk my life to go look at some guy who clearly is a drug addict and clearly broke the law and clearly is working the court system? And as a private citizen, why should I have to risk my life driving for an hour to get to that courtroom? And, have an anxiety attack on the highway all the way up there because of the fact that, everybody's driving 100 miles an hour. And, the guy that gets, even if he gets found to be guilty, which he is guilty because he was, busted dead to rights with that crack pipe in his mouth or that needle in his arm or stealing on camera, the fact remains, that they're only going to spend a day in jail, 2 days in jail. And why, as a private citizen, am I required by law to respond to a jury notice? It should be voluntary. It should be, something that you want to go do. And, when you get a citation, you sign on the dotted line saying you promise to appear in court. Well, I did not promise to appear in court, and I don't feel that because I don't want to go look at a drug addict or a thief or a heroin addict or somebody who just committed murder with a DUI that I should be forced to have to pay a $1,500 fine for not responding. I'm not breaking the law by not wanting to go do this. So I called the courthouse and I explained to them that, I thought I'd made it quite clear I would never serve on a jury due to the hip replacement surgery, due to the fact that I just don't want to go look at a bunch of criminals at 8 o'clock in the morning that are, clearly criminals. And clearly, I don't want to do it. And they said the only way I can get out of it is to get a note from my doctor saying I am not able to ever serve on a jury due to medical reasons. So my medical reasons clearly are valid. I have a complete bilateral hip replacement surgery, and after 20 minutes of driving on the freeway, my legs start shaking. And, I get a little panicked and I get an anxiety attack when everybody's driving past me at 100 miles an hour and I'm doing the speed limit of 65. And really, truly, I don't want to look at a bunch of criminals. I don't. And so I'm going to my doctor right now with this, and I'm going to have to go pay money to see my doctor, to have a note sent to the jury duty services that I am not, a candidate to be serving on a jury ever. So the bottom line here is, even though you are not required by law to serve on a jury, you are apparently required by law to show up to the summons to do jury duty and then give your excuse. And, and if you don't show up or respond to the notice, you are subjected to a $1,500 fine. That's a lot of money. So, and apparently the only way you can get out of being on that potential jurors list is you have to go to your doctor and give him some money and have a legal medical reason to not serve on a jury. But it's, not required by law to serve on a jury. Yeah, it says here that, you can be fined $1,500 for contempt of court. Contempt of court? Really? I thought contempt of court meant when you were pulled over for speeding or something and you signed a promise to appear. I didn't respond. That's all. And actually, I did respond the last time I did go do jury duty, and I got out of it, and I said that in there as I was walking out, don't ever call me again. But apparently that wasn't a legitimate reason to never be called in for jury duty and apparently be accused of contempt of court. All right, I'm here at the doctor. It's crazy that the courts require you to even get a note from your doctor to excuse you from serving on a jury. But, I guess it's worth it to spend that kind of money rather than spend the $1,500. But seriously, why are criminals allowed to even plead not guilty? I don't understand that part. So basically, because some drug addict or some thief or just basically some common criminal decides to break the law, at this point, it'd be an inconvenience to go get a note from the doctor. All right. I'm not getting a pap smear today. So for those of you that are actually wondering how to be removed from the jury duty call list, this is how. You have to go see your doctor. Okay, so just left the doctor's office, and yes, he did fax to the jury service people that I need to be excused permanently from jury responsibility. So hopefully that means I'm not going to be hearing anything more from anybody claiming that I need to go serve on a jury. Hey, got confirmation today. Yes, I did. That's right. You are hereby excused permanently from jury duty. Yeah, I'm going to frame this puppy. You know it. Okay, so the bottom line is if you really want to get out of jury duty permanently, you need to contact your doctor. You need to explain to your doctor your medical situation that prohibits you from serving on a jury. And, your doctor will happily write that note.